Hentai and the Nintendo Switch eShop have a strange history. For years now, there have been all these hentai branded games popping up, and they're all insanely cheap, on sale almost year round. At the time of making this video, a bundle of a few of them is on sale for $2. But despite their titles, only a few of these games have actual hentai, aka nudity. I've never really been interested in the series as a whole, as they look like very low effort puzzle games for the sake of looking at pictures of suggestive anime girls. But when I saw that their golf game was an actual golfing game and not just a tile puzzle thing, I decided to grab it on a cheap sale. So let's dive right into the weirdest golf game I've ever played. Here is my review of Hentai Golf for the Nintendo Switch. There's no story here, so when it comes to gameplay, this is a first-person golf game, and well, that's about it. As you play, you'll be going through games of golf in first person and go until each set is finished. Despite having the word hentai in the title, this actually is not a hentai game. I've gone through the entire thing with all 3 characters, and while there are some suggestive outfit choices, this game does not feature any full nudity. There's also a lot of free DLC available for this game, as Red Deer Games usually does. You can hop on the eShop and claim the 4 extra golf courses and different colors for the golf ball you use completely free of charge. Once you dive into the game, you have 3 characters to choose from, each with different hair color and ages. Yumiko, the short-haired 23-year-old, Narumi, the brunette at age 25, and Misa, the blonde at age 28. Choosing characters didn't change the game a lot though, just the art and loading screens showcasing your playable character. All of the holes and courses you do remain the same. Then you can go into the courses. Each one has 5 holes for you to simply play golf in. There are 8 built into the base game, and that increases to 12 when you redeem the free DLC. Not as much as you'd see in a typical golf course, but it does give you 60 different holes to play through. Once you go into a hole, it's a very simple and basic golf game. You move around where you're aiming, can swap clubs, and take swings to get the golf ball where it needs to go on the green. You then continue until you get your ball under the flag and can move on to the next. The first thing you'll notice is the very strange perspective. This game plays golf completely in first person. There are other games that have done this, but this is the first time I've encountered it, and it seems very odd and different when compared to pretty much every other golf game I've played. In a way, it seemed a little bit unique and different as I played it. But as you'd expect, it's very basic and bare bones. You don't even have that much to choose from with clubs. You get a driver, a wood driver, wedge, putter, and iron. The iron especially is just an iron. They don't have numbered irons in this game. It is really just a difference in the arc and potential distance when choosing a club. The most unique one is the putter, just because it goes straight instead of an arc. We do have some other features as well, like wind that plays a factor in how swings go, but even that is very minor. You'll see the ball curve a little bit when going against horizontal wind, but it's such a small and non-consequential effect when compared to even other golf games on the Switch like Birdie Wing. The swings themselves also have a problem in that they don't really have any weight. With no animation of your character or the swings, it feels very shallow when you hit the ball. The arc animations are fine for what they are, but it doesn't have that weighted or good feeling you get when you hit the ball in a bigger golf game. That also plays into the inconsistent nature of your swings. There are times when I'll do a heavy hit with wind blowing directly towards me, yet the ball will go far past the projected landing point. Not that it matters. One thing I kept asking myself when playing this game was, what's the point? You're able to clear a hole no matter how well or badly you do. And when you finish a hole, you get this little scoreboard with a picture of your character on a golf course in a different outfit for each course. This is where the hentai series comes into play in this game. With each hole you pass in a single course, the girl takes off an article of clothing during the results screen. This keeps going until you complete hole 5 and she is standing there in nothing but a bra and panties while holding on to a golf ball or golf club. This continues for all 12 courses, giving the girls different outfits, stances, and positions in each one. First in full outfit, and then without their hat, scarf, shirt, skirt, etc. until she's back to just a bra and panties. And like I said before, there is no nudity in this game. Unlike titles like Hentai World, the girls will go down to a bra and panties, but never beyond that. And that is what progression is for. After you complete a hole, you can go back to stage select to look at the artwork that just unlocked. It doesn't matter how well you do on the hole, you will still complete it and unlock the artwork. You can get an eagle, bogey, quadruple bogey, or worse, and it will still complete. I actually tested around with this to see if there was a stroke limit like other golf games have. I eventually gave up after hitting 100 strokes on a single hole, and it kept going. This is a bit of a shame to take the difficulty out of the game. While I wouldn't call most of this course as brain bending, there are some of the DLC that can be pretty tricky, having you hitting the ball over multiple small and floating islands, requiring you to be careful and easy to get the ball onto them without falling off. But with no consequences, it doesn't matter how many times you fail, you just keep on going until you win. Despite all of these flaws and basic elements, I did find this game to be kind of fun in a small and bite-sized way. I wouldn't call this golf system good by any stretch of the imagination, and if I had a choice between different Switch games, I'd definitely play something like Mario Golf or Birdie Wing before this. But with how quick it goes and unlocks things, I found myself attached to keep playing. In fact, I kept going until I'd cleared everything with all 3 characters, DLC included. There was just something about the basic gameplay that kept me going with it. Speaking of, let's dive into content and length, and there's not really a lot here. You can easily clear each hole in about 20 to 30 seconds, though some of the trickier DLC holes might take you up to a minute. It took me a total of 4 to 5 hours to clear everything with all 3 characters. Considering I only spent about $2 on this game, I think that's fine. Next is presentation. Visually, I think the game looks fine, I guess. The artwork of the girls you unlock as you clear holes looks great, though the in-game course visuals are really basic and lacking in detail. Though at the very least, the game is smart enough to make obstructions transparent when taking shots. With performance, it's a bit all over the place. The frame rate is sometimes at 60, sometimes 30, and there are some other areas that have a lot of lag and frame drops, like when I replayed the first hole of the game. I would say it's acceptable overall, as the drops don't come all that often. The only other issue I had was a few crashes as I finished up some of the holes. It happened to be 4 times as I played the game where it would crash as soon as I got to the results screen. Thankfully, I never lost progress as it had already saved my completion score, but it was a fairly consistent problem. That brings us to battery life. Hentai Golf gives the original and light models a battery range of about 2 to 3 hours, while the V2 and OLED models get 5 to 6 hours. In conclusion, Hentai Golf is the strangest golf game I've ever played. It's a first-person sports game that's all about unlocking images of anime girls undressing, but not including the full nudity one might expect. Now, the downside, the mechanics aren't always consistent, the frame rate is all over the place, it has a tendency to crash at the results screen, and there are no consequences for bad playing. It's certainly an okay game for what it is, and is very different than what the hentai series is known for. But I'm not sure I'd ever call this game good. Reviews to Go rates Hentai Golf for the Nintendo Switch a 4 out of 10. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them below. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.